I've talked to many clients in the past who made this number one mistake when they roll their 401k to their IRA after switching jobs. Let me give you the breakdown because you don't want to make the same mistake that 1 in 3 people have made and missed out on the growth. So let me show you this article from the Wall Street Journal. Now, when people roll their 401k balances from their old company's plan into an individual retirement account, the money is frequently held as cash until they select new investments, right? According to new research from Vanguard Group, nearly a third of those who roll savings into IRAs at Vanguard in 2015 still had the balance sitting in cash 7 years later. Wow. Take a look at this data. It shows a percentage of IRA investors who remain in cash years after a 401k rollover. So a financial advisor in Rockport, Maine said a couple hired her in 2021 had rolled more than $400,000 over from a 401k to an IRA the year before. It took them a while to realize the money was still sitting in cash, and they couldn't figure out why they weren't earning any money when the stock market was showing high returns. Now, that's a fact because 2020 had a 15% return just from the S&P 500, and 2021 had a 26% return. Let me calculate how much they missed out on their growth just real quick. If they invested the whole thing into the S&P 500 in 2020, they would have had a balance of $586,000 by the end of 2021. So they missed out about $186,000 in gains. That's gotta hurt. And man, that sucks. Take a look at this. And there's a 33-year-old nurse from Cincinnati who's lost out on thousands of dollars of gains because her IRA has been sitting in cash since 2016 when her employer rolled her pension into the IRA after she left her job. I also did this. When I left my private sector job in 2021, my company had a pension plan for me, and I decided to cash that out by moving it into my traditional IRA. So I rolled that over to my solo 401k when I started this business as a self-employed individual now. And this is not intentional at all. When people roll that money from their 401k to their IRA, they thought they were done with the process and just never checked their IRA again. The Vanguard study showed that in 2022, over half of IRA owners stayed in cash for at least 12 months. And IRAs have the largest asset out of all retirement vehicles with $14.3 trillion versus $11.1 trillion in 401k or 401k type plans. Okay. So what do you think is better? Investing $500 a month, making 10% return, or investing $1,000 a month, making a 7% return on investment? You can't figure out how much you can invest without a budget. There's no way around it. I personally tested out the budgeting app called YNAB, and it's not just an app that can track your income and expenses, but it can even help you create a plan to pay down your student loans, car loans, personal loans, or credit cards a lot faster. So if you're ready to change your life by getting out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, you can get a free trial without any credit card information by using the link in the description below. I'm going to show you the slide that I did have where I teach my clients here. So let me show you how a 401k rollover is supposed to work correctly. All right. So let's say you just quit your job and you have both traditional and Roth in your 401k. What you need to remember is that every dollar in your traditional 401k is in pre-tax dollars, while every dollar in your Roth 401k is in after-tax dollars. You already paid the government taxes on the contributions you made to the Roth 401k, so that account can only be transferred to another Roth type account, or in this case, a Roth IRA. In order to avoid paying any taxes, you want to make a rollover from a traditional 401k to a traditional IRA. You obviously can't roll over your Roth 401k to your traditional IRA because you already pay taxes on the Roth 401k, right? You can't pay the government taxes twice unless you really want to. Wouldn't recommend. But you have to remember that once you've finished the rollover from your 401k to your IRA, that money just sits in a money market fund. It doesn't pay you any interest at all. It's like 0.01%, something ridiculous. So if you don't do anything after you finish the rollover, it's just going to sit in cash. And you have to take another step to invest in a mutual fund, ETF, or whatever investments that suit you. And I make sure that my clients that they are investing in something after they finish the rollover. Well, I never tell them what to invest, but I make sure that they don't just sit in cash, right? They need to have a plan in place. And this is the extra step where those people miss out on 10, 15, 20, or even 25% return in a year for several years. In your pension rollover, should say right, okay, top right corner here, will most likely be in pre-tax dollars. So that's also going to be transferred to a traditional IRA. But you also have to be careful when you make the rollover. And some people have made this mistake in the past. If you roll your traditional 401k to your Roth IRA, it's now become a conversion, which means that you're going to be paying taxes on the total conversion. For example, if you make a Roth conversion from a traditional 401k to a Roth IRA in July 2024, then you will have to pay the income tax by the deadline in April 2025. But anyway, check your IRAs today and make sure you know what you're investing in. Do not make the same mistake these people did or these people in the article did. If you just made a simple rollover, it's most likely not invested yet unless you did some kind of an in-kind transfer from 401k to IRA to keep the mutual funds intact. If you're still not sure what you need to do with your old 401k, you can always schedule a session with me by visiting firesightchat.com/consultation.